Hello everyone. I know that for about 1 or 2 years I left the radar system alone and I didn't make any videos for that. But believe me, I had good reasons. Even now that I'm recording this video, I'm not sure if I can upload it on YouTube or not. But I decided to go on. I never leave anything unfinished. Now, after 2 years of learning the scripting, learning the Unity and C Sharp especially, when I came back to my own Radar script, I didn't like what I saw. So I decided to rewrite this little script from scratch. And believe me, I will use lots of the sources of the previous script, but refactor it, messaging it, so that it looks more professional. Also, I will handle some error checking and debugging better, because honestly, we can't rely on the fact that everyone using the script should know everything about the script. And as you can see, there is nothing here from the bootcamp yet, because in this video I will just go over the previous script and make a new script, copy paste some things from the old script to the new script, and that's it for this video. We will speak about the things I decided to change on the base of the operation of the script later on in the next video, and deciding that the most of the video will be just copy pasting and printing some debug messages and things like that. This video should be relatively short. If I was able to upload this one, then I will start recording the continuation of the writing the script right from tomorrow, and hopefully I will be able to record one video each day. I'm not sure if I can upload them on this speed, but I will try. And one thing I should mention before I start is that now I'm using Visual Studio 2012 with the help of the ReSharper and many other add-ons. Most of these add-ons are just there to help me visualize things like indent guide, etc. But the core of coding help comes from ReSharper. So every now and then you may notice that I jumped in a line and a line magically appears. Don't worry, I will stop there and let you see what was the code. But I want to mention that that magic happens because of ReSharper. And if you don't have the ReSharper now, go on and get it. Just that, because it's amazing. It's super amazing and nothing can be compared to it. So without any other word, let's start scripting. Okay, here is my old script. You may notice it. Of course, I closed some of the classes, but the script is the same. All the way down to it, it's the initialize method there. And yeah. Now, I'll just hit Alt Insert and Enter, and put Radar as the class name. That's the ReSharper for you. It will create a class, okay? It would put a namespace. We don't need the namespace. But I need some references here, and that's this guy using Unity Engine. So I'll just copy paste it. And I think this guy needs to Shift Tab. There we go. Now, from the old radar system, some things will be just copy-pasted here. But I will change some things as I'm going forward. First of all, you will notice I hid the camera from the inspector. I don't need it anymore to be visible in the inspector. The other thing is the prefabs. And in the prefabs, I don't need indicator. The other thing is the settings, and I may need to add things here or change things here. Let's take a look. Indicator distance, I don't like this name. I should call it rather what? Radius. Yeah. And did I type the radius correctly? Yeah. Okay. Radar layer. If you remember, we were using this integer to handle our calling mask on the camera. Now I'll change it. It will be string, and it will be radar layer equals to radar, and with capital R. Camera can rotate, will be there, radar position will be there, and materials, one of the things that will change drastically, I think at least. Okay. We don't have player indicator. We don't have any NPC, enemy, or vehicle indicator. We just have occluder and map plan. And textures. I'll handle the textures later on, but we need them. Now, this is a bit different. If you remember, in my previous videos, I was going back into the Unity and type the stuff there, the tags there. This is how you can define predefined tags and colors in the script. Just put a new and curly braces and some things that you need to be in the array. Other than that, now we need objects, prefabs, settings, texture 2D maps, materials, and blips. Of course, I need all of them. Now, this is interesting. I never used this in this script, but, and this is not old radar now, it's just radar. It's there so that you can reference this script from outside of this script. For example, you can say radar.instance, not here, of course. Let me create a constructor without anything. I'll delete it right now, but you can say radar, come on, dot instance dot, and you can see that I can now access everything, and I can do that outside this script anywhere from other scripts. But this means that I should have only one radar script in the scene, and we will have only one radar script in the scene, that's for sure. So here we go. Our private initialized is the same, and this is how I can reference this script in the instance. In the awake method, you remember, instance is a radar script type. I will say instance equals this. Now, this word means that it will refer to this script at the awakening of the script. and there is no other way to say this. Okay, the start is the same, and we don't have initialize. Now watch this. This is the nice thing about ReSharper. Alt Enter create method initialize. Bam! I have initialize method now, and it's void. I don't need to throw any exception, but at the end I will say initialized equals true. And late update, we'll handle late update later on when we want to move the camera. And what else? Now here is the thing that I will change. First of all, the code is a bit different from what you had seen, but I will go through it. So here I will check the tags and put a debug, but I won't return. Okay, I will send a debug.log warning saying that. Rather, without tags, your radar may not track objects in game. Is this what you want? Okay. And then colors. Now here is the interesting thing. We will say colors.length. If it's not equals to tags.length, we will say, hey, you don't have proper colors vs tags relationship. Debug.log from radar saying that the missing colors would fill with white. Why not? Now else. In the else method, and here is what I need to do. It's, let's say, now here is the interesting part. We will say color array of temp equals, here is the new codes, guys, equals to, now we should decide first. Integer t equals 0, t equals colors.length. If t is less than, if t is greater than tags.length, then t equals to tags.length. Basically, we are taking the lesser one, and now we can say color array of temp color equals to color array, the size of t. What's the problem here? New. Okay, I need a new color array of t. Now, again, if tags.length is greater than colors.length, then we know that the color is the lesser one, so temp colors, oh wait, So let me handle this one. Equals to new color array of the size tags.length we don't need to check this, you know, and we don't need any of this. And here we'll say tags.length. Yeah. Colors.length or will be missed if color array is greater in size. Okay. Now temp color equals new color. What's your problem here? Oh. Now we will say colors equals to new color than that, but before that I want to say temp colors equals to colors. So I'll store the colors here. What's your problem, dude? Hey, I'm assigning you. Equals colors. If I do this, will you be happy, please? No. Let me see. Okay. So now temp colors equals new colors of the size of colors dot length and says equals to null. What the hell is your problem? I know that it's null. Oh, wait. Not accessed. Local variable. Let's continue on. Now, I have the colors in the temp colors. Now I will define the colors as tags, and now I will start a for loop I, and it will be colors dot length. Now I'll say if I is less than or equal temp colors dot length. Then we know that we have the color. We will say that colors subindex I equals to temp color index of I, else colors of I equals to color dot white. No, not you. Color dot white. That will work if the color array index is less than the tags. But what if it's vice versa? So let me do this. If temp color.length is less than tags.length, and I need to define an integer For example, I'll say size equals 0. And then if it's less than or equal to tags.length, then we say that size equals to temp color.length, else size equals to tags.length, alt enter, remove braces, and here I will use the size. Okay. Now this should work. Now you see that indication here under the if. I will move my mouse there, hit alt enter, and convert it to his. This means that size equals temp.length if it is less than or equal to tags.length, and this means else. Else temp size equals to temp color.length. And here I can use variable because it's implicit variable there. And remove the braces and remove the braces. So let's see. Joint declaration and assignment. There we go. And no, I don't want to convert to hex. Now let's continue, and I'll check this first of all after I finished everything. Now, as you can see, this code is a bit huge for my taste. I will take all of that. I hope Control-Shift-R. Yeah, Control-Shift-R, extract method. And now I can make a new name. Let's call it check colors. And it's void and it's private. You can see void and private. And I don't want to make it virtual. Next. The extract code has multiple entry points. Next. Let's see. Check colors. And there we go. We have all that code in a separate method now. Okay? So after I check the colors, now I will make the maps. But I will move the maps before everything else. Or no. Yeah, why not? But I won't return, you know. I will say debug.log warning rather without maps your radar will work, but there will be no background. Okay, now if the player is null, things will be a bit different. So I'll check it for everything else. Import types for pasted code, no. Now we will say game object go equals game object dot find object with tag, and we know that every game will have the tag player. It's one of the default tags, and for the same reason I will come up for the tags. Well, I can remove the player, you know. But that's one of the problems here, you know. How can I handle this? I will remove this guy. It was bugging me at the what did I do? Okay, delete. It was bugging me when I was developing the previous script. Now I'll say public color player color equals this, because we know that we have the player tag by default. Okay, so we don't need that. We just need the color for that. Now, if game object, game object, if there is no game object, then return. But before that, debug.log, it's the error now, and we say there is no object in the game with the tag player, and this is from rather. At the end, another interesting thing about the resharper. Debug.log error rather without defining the player rather won't work. Yeah. And we will return. Okay. Now we have the player. I want to address it somewhere because I don't want to command almost always do this code again and again and again. So I'll just, where is my, here. I will say private game object underline player, and here I will say underline player equals to geo, because if we come to this part, we know that the geo is not null. By the way, it's equals to if geo equals null. It's a bit interesting, and let this be var defining. Okay. Now, after that, we need the camera. All this huge code. Whoa. After the player, before the maps, we need a camera, of course. But hey, let's do something else. Again, with the help of resharper, Ctrl-Shift-R, extract method, call it check camera. Next, and we have that there. And check camera is now here. Now, you see this? It's changed. Now, if you remember, it was something like this at the start of the game, and I didn't know what this means. This is something called bit shifting. Bit shifting. And if you search this word on the Google, you will find a very good Wikipedia explanation of what it's working and what it's doing. Basically, it will take this number and move it to the first bit of an array. Okay? But there is a better way of handling this. We will say layer. Come on. What was that? Layer mask dot layer name to layer. That's what I wanted. Layer mask name to layer. And remember, we had settings dot rather layer. And this is the string. It will take any string, find that string in the layers, and give us back the number of the layer, and then bit shift it to the first bit and put it in the calling mask. Now, if you call back, I had something like a temporary rectangle equals to, and here was rect. We don't need that. We just need the x and y, okay? So I put the x and y, and right now I will go and add two numbers to the settings, and that will be public float, rather, no, height with capital H equals to 0.3f, and public float, rather width equals to 0.3f. I won't do anything with these two now, but in the next video we will see and find the correct mathematical relationships to put these things, so that the designer only needs to define the height and width, and of course this will be settings dot rather height, I think, and this is the width, I think, if I'm right. No, it's vice versa. Okay, so that's rather width, and settings that rather height. Now I'll show you a trick. Capital R, capital H will give you rather height. God bless ReSharper. Now what else? Game object.transform. What's the problem now? Oh, you know, we need to get something inside, and we will say this. Okay? And here we will ask for a game object, and we call it game, and now you see that ReSharper gives me some options for the naming conventions, and we will say, now we can say game object.transform. Okay? Now, here is one of my add-ons. I will say something like this. This method needs to be revisited for the x and y math. You see that it's still some comment, but the asterisk in here gives me a different color, so I can easily find it. Now the next part is checking the game objects. Let's go one by one. Endpoint. Control X. And after we check the camera, after we check the colors, now we can say we don't want to end the game, because honestly you can have the game. So debug.log warning, rather without what the hell? Anyway, without H here. Okay. Without endpoint, the rather system will continue working, but there won't be any indication for endpoint of level. and we don't want to return, so that's it. Now without map plan, same things that we said about the maps can be set here. Without map planes, your radar will work, but there will be no background. No, even with textures, with maps. And then radar GUI, that's what I call that halo effect around the radar. And now I can add it here. And I'll call this one now you see I can change it to method or properties. I will use a method check GUI. If check GUI return, no, we don't need that. We just want to check the GUI, okay? Thank you. Because we don't want to return. Now, log warning, you don't have any radar GUI assigned. Else, we will do stuff and we don't want to return anything. And we don't use this, but we use this. Okay? Now, I will put these into another method. Check objects. And in check objects, we have them. Now, north indicator is the same as endpoint. And the same warning instead of returning. Without north point, this radar system will continue working, but there won't be any indication for north direction of level. Now, and we won't want to return. We say debug.log warning radar system will continue working but won't be able to show the indicator for north direction. And blah blah blah. And by the way, I changed the numbers. We will speak about them later on because I'm not sure if they will work as I want them to work. I'm just refactoring everything here now. And Control C, Control V, and the system will continue working but won't be able to show the indicator for endpoint direction. Now, occluder is another story. Because if there is no occluder, we can't continue on. And or Come on, Control Shift. Oh no, I should select it first. Okay. Control Shift R. Extract method. Check occluder. And that's private. What else? Condition. Okay, next. But here we will say true. No, we say false. And here we say return true. And we say if not check occluder, then return. And here is this. We say again mask layer mask, sorry, dot name to layer, and we see that the resharper put the parentheses for me. Now the indicator, as I said, we won't have any indicator, so I can ignore this. Player indicator, NPC, enemy, vehicle. Now materials is a different story. Complete different story. We will have only the I'll have these two. Okay. So now I'll add these two, and I'll remove them. Control Shift R, extract. We'll say check materials. And for check materials, we will say we need a bool. And if any of these, then return false. Return false. But if those two work, then return true. Now I'll say this. If not check materials, then we want another method called create materials. And we don't have that method. So create method. And this will be void. And we don't have, come on. And we don't want any one of these, but I will again check these two. So it's a bit of optimization, because if we have the materials, we don't want to check both of them. So, excuse me, if we don't have any of one of these materials is missing, if one of the materials is missing, we don't need to check the other one. And we will go directly to create them. So, yeah. As you may recall, we had lots of materials here, but as I said, there won't be any other material for any kind of indicator. And now, I can just simply, what's this? Change type of parameter called method to rather. No. That game object. No. This dot. What's this? This is. Oh, is that instance? No. Come on. Okay. Game object. I'm. Come on. Instance dot game object. How the hell can I? Let me think. Oh wait. What are we parenting the Camera 2. Come on, where is check camera? Check camera. And you don't have the radar position because I forgot to take this guy into here. Okay. You're happy now, and now we want, I want the camera to be parented to the game object that manages this guy. Game object. Check camera, where are you? Can I say game object? Why can't I? Let me see. Close this guy. Yes. Delete. And now. What we get from this? Awake, bleeps. No. Rather that instance dot no game object. What the hell is going on? Okay. Public. Oh yeah, because I forgot to. Yeah. That happens when you use ReSharper on a Visual Studio and not creating them. And now I can say game object. Yeah. Okay. So now, after adding the inheritance from mono behavior and sending this game object to the correct check camera, now we have all the methods. And now our initialize at least is a bit better, and I can even go farther because I want it, and I will say method check player, and if not check player, then return, and check player if it's return false, and here we will say sorry, here we will say return true. That's it. And what else do we have? So we check the player, we check the camera, Control-Shift-R, check maps, and check tags, and we are done. So now you can see that I just have a bunch of method calls in the initialize. I can close it after checking tags, after checking maps. Now here is something that I want, checking the player, sorry. Now I will just make things a bit nicer. Control-Shift-Alt up, moving it up. Because in initialize method, I am first checking the player, then checking the camera. So Control-Shift-Alt up, and where am I? Up, and up and up. So I'm right below the player. And then I'm checking the maps. So one up. Then I'm checking the tags. And after the tags, I'm checking the colors. Where are you? Check colors. What the? Click occluder object. Oh, here it is. Check colors. So and one more, I think. Yep. Okay. So if you recall, I'm creating the bleeps. And I want them in a separate method. Create bleeps. Okay, and I can now remove this guy and creating the bleeps right after checking the colors. Okay, and check objects. Should be next. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now it's right behind the bleeps. Check GUI. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And check GUI, then check occluder. 1, 2. And then I'm checking the materials and then creating the materials. Now I have a nice flow of the logic. And here's the neat thing. Now I can create a region. Initial checks and creations. And put the end region here. And now, if I close this region, bingo. I'll just have the initialize method, and that's it. Okay? And the script looks a lot nicer now. And yeah, that's for this video. It got, holy cow, 52 minutes. Okay, so see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. As I said, most of the stuff was pre-made. The only things that I changed from the previous video was this X and Y, and then some things on the fly. By the way, I remember that I said radarcam.transform.rotate with these numbers, and here's the correct way of doing it. Radarcam.transform.rotation equals quaternion.euler 9000. You don't need the new in the front of quaternion, because then you won't have access to Euler. Okay, and what else I had done? I want to go on and take a look. Check tags, check colors. All this stuff was added on the fly today. I will check that in the next video to see if it works properly. Create bleeps was the same as before. Yeah. Check objects is the same, but no returning, because honestly there is no point in them. The radar system will work even without any of them, even without the occluder, but the occluder is something that I want to be sure that people put there. And if you notice, the else is grayed out. Why it's grayed out? Because by default, when I'm adding the occluder to the object, where is it? Or it's in prefabs. It says that it's null. Okay, it's basically equals null. And I'm checking if the occluder is null. So the script would say this: hey, you set the occluder to null. So this code will never be read. That's what Visual Studio thinks. And that's correct. If this code was running in Visual Studio.NET environment, but we are running it in Unity. And for example, if I say new, equals to new game object, then you would see that magically, oh, come on, it's not null anymore. Oh, well, it's still thinking that it's null. It's out of my acceptance anyway. Let's say, for example, it's occluder. So, or I should say that it's in awake, for example. Maybe. It's not null anymore, okay? But it's still thinking that it's null. Prefabs.occluder. Oh, wait. I can't call it like this in awake. Yeah, it's error. Okay. Prefabs.occluder equals new game object occluder. And it still thinks that it's null. What if I say, if not, it's the same concept, but I'm not sure why it's keeping this guy like this. But let's do this. Debug.log. Bunch of stuff. Control S, go back to Unity, last net check. Yeah, I know that it's assigned but never used. Game object, create empty. And from scripts, I'll call the radar on it. And it's run. Internal can only be called from the main tree. What was the problem? Reload all. And where was it? Line, please line number. What's your problem, dude? Now the problem is my Unity is messed up. If I double click on it, it will open the Visual Studio 2010. I hope when I upgrade my Unity, it will be solved. But that doesn't show any line number. Internal create game object can only be called from the main tree. What's that meaning? Constructors can fill in. Users will be executed from the loading tree when loading a scene. Don't use this function in the constructor or field initializers. Or start function. Do you mean this? For example? I didn't save it. Save. Ooh. Yeah. That happens if you do that like that. Oh, wait. I'll do something stupid. And you guys, yeah, Control S, and now clear, play. Still the same error, so it's not from that part. Oops. Control K, which was that? Control K. Come on. Forgot that short key. Okay. And so it's not here. Where is it? Public class radar. Using Unity engine, system serializable. Oh, got. It's here. Okay. Clear. Now there is no object in player. Okay, we are checking the player. So now this is the nice thing about this method I'm using. If I want to disable any part, I can just do this. Okay. And where was it? The thing that we are checking is the occluder. So I'll disable anything else before the occluder. Okay. Now clear. And you see my code is now running. Okay. And what the hell? The layer needs to be in range. No matching profile. Yeah, because in my settings I don't have a layer called radar in the game. But you can see that my code is being called even though the resharper and the engine shows that this code is not reachable. That's the whole point behind these checks. And now I can take back everything and take this guy from awake. Okay. So the code is working, and don't let this thing make you worried. And what's this? Check if geo is not null. Well, I'm making the geo, so I'm not. And by the way, guys, it's the same concept in here. I'm saying the geo is GameObject.find prefab occluder name. If it finds it, then it assigns it to geo. If this is null, else, and this means that if it returns null, instantiate prefab occluder as GameObject and assign it to geo. So I always am sure that the geo will be instantiated because I checked that the prefab.occluder is not null before. So now I'm sure that it will instantiate something for me, and I'm sure that geo is not null in this point. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I will start speaking about these magic numbers. I will add them in settings so then you can change things. But before that, anything else, I'll visit the check camera method and go back and do this stuff by mathematics. And I'll add these to the settings up there. And that's it. Have fun, everybody.